Like sand through the hourglass, so goes the days of our lives. How we doing, folks? We're back at it again today. I don't even know how many days I've been here. It's been a lot between trying to film what's going on, pruning ridiculously overgrown shrubs, and now weeding thistle, which I pretty much never weed thistle because I don't see it very often. We're just making the best of it. We're making a cool video for everybody. Having some fun. It's a beautiful day, so let's just enjoy what we're doing. Let me just show you what I did yesterday, what I want to do today, and we'll just keep moving. Over here, there was just a ton of thistle. So I just got down on my knees with my knee pad, my weeding knife, and just one by one, I plucked them out. And I know they're going to come back next year. They're not gone forever, unless they're going to come back next year. When they come back next year, either me or whoever else is around gets the weeding knife, pulls the roots out, and gets as much as they can, and then they'll come back again, and there'll be less. And you just keep doing that until they're all gone. I've never really seen this in bloom, but the folks that live here tell me that it's a grape hyacinth, Muscari armeniacum. We're just going to leave it. I mean, we lost quite a bit already because I was pulling weeds and some came with it. Basically, what's going to happen today, pull the weeds, rake it out, remove some black-eyed Susan, rake it out, see how it looks, and just kind of keep that process going, most likely 3 or 4 times, until I get things to where I want them to be. And then the final step is going to be to cut the edge. Yet again, I don't have my dump truck. So if I were going to cut the edge, you know, I would cut the edge, clean up the edgings, and put them in the wheelbarrow and bring them right up to the dump truck. The name of the game in physical labor is move heavy objects once. So I don't want to pick up all the edgings and dump them on the driveway like I did with all that brush, because then we're just making more work for ourselves. You want to pick up the edgings and put it right on the truck. I don't go making piles like this on a regular basis. I would always try to prune what I'm pruning, maybe leave piles in the landscape, but once I start cleaning up, you pick it up and put it right in the truck. It is an absolutely gorgeous day. I did not bring a radio. I kind of wish I did, but let's just get started and see where we end up. See the inside of my foot, how the sidewalk is wet there? So there's dirt like 6 inches onto the sidewalk, which is choking it down. And that's why I'm kind of coming through here and trying to remove some of the black-eyed Susan on the edge of the walk. And if you take a look here, you'll see how it's actually growing over the walkway there. Okay, folks, I did the first round of weeding and I took out quite a bit of black-eyed Susan as well. I got all the thistle that was in this front corner here. I pulled the black-eyed Susan off of the sidewalk through here. So now I can just, you know, either sweep or blow all that dirt off the sidewalk. I removed a few of the dwarf fountain grass that was growing through here. Some of them were self-sown, and then I did get all the thistle down here as well. After lunch, what I'm going to do is probably actually grab my edging tool, and I'll start. You see how at the edge of the bed right here, you can't really see the edge of the bed, but this is give or take where the edge of the bed is. And you've got some of those grape hyacinths growing on the edge of the bed. And then there could be some daffodils, and then it turns into black-eyed Susan. So I want to basically, you know, cut a fresh edge through here, and then I'll just take my shovel and basically dig everything out a foot back, which is going to be some of those grape hyacinths, is going to be some of those black-eyed Susan, and just get myself a nice fresh edge. And then once I do that, I can kind of go back and see how much more of this black-eyed Susan I want to leave. I can always transplant. There's so much of it in here that if I take too much out, I can always bring some more back. So that's pretty much where we are. And again, folks, this bed just has been out of control for so long. This pile over here is all the dirt, and there's a few weeds in there. They could go in this other pile. But the dirt goes into a different place, and I figure what I'll do is put the dirt on the grass. So if heaven forbid we have some rain, any dirt washes onto the grass, rather than leaving this mud slick down the driveway. That never looks good. This pile, for the most part, should be just brush and cuttings from perennials. All right, folks, so normally if I am cutting an edge, what I will do is use my edging tool and put the edging tool in where I want the edge. It's so hard to figure out where I want the edge. It's so far gone here. Push the edging tool in and rock it back. Then you just move it forward a little bit, push the tool in, rock it back. You want to rock it back because you see how it's loosening the dirt there? And then push the tool forward, push it in, rock it back. So first I'll go through and cut the edge, and depending on your grass, if you want a straight edge, you can move your edging tool forward far. But if the grass is really thick with roots, or if you're trying to cut a curve, maybe you only go half a bite at a time. But the secret when you're cutting your edge is you want to get it down deep and you want to rock it back so it kind of pops that grass out of there. And you know, I've done this so many times, it comes kind of natural, but your first time, you know, it may be a bit of a struggle. You may have to cut it, you know, a couple times to get it right, and that's all okay, because I was there too when I started. So then normally what I would do, if this was like a re-edge, I would just grab a flat shovel and, you know, just take my flat shovel, line up with the edge, and scrape it out. But I mean, there's so much grass here that I kind of want to use my spade and just, you know, it's a little bit slower, but I'm basically trying to dig out the grass and whatever's beneath it, which in this case is, you see that? I think those are all daffodils. I think the grass grew over the bed. But I want to get in here and just get this junk out of here. And again, usually when you're edging gardens, they're not this bad. And then what I can do is I'm pretty sure I'm at an angle. I'm pretty sure I need to come out about here and work my way over. So why don't we just show you what that looks like? And it's not like I made a mistake. This is just the way life goes. So you kind of figure out where you need to be, and then you draw like an imaginary straight line from where I am now to where I want to be, which is pretty much where I clean the sod to. And then you'll go back, and sometimes you'll get it right, and sometimes you won't. And no matter what happens, we will learn. So this is the way, if I was using a flat shovel, I would just come right here and scoop this out. And if I wasn't filming, I would have my wheelbarrow right next to me, so I just scoop it out, put it in the wheelbarrow, wheel it up a few feet, and keep scooping. All right, so hopefully that looks a little bit better. And then I really do just want to remove this. So we're going to do that. Now, there's nothing to say you couldn't take these bulbs and put them somewhere in the yard and, you know, maybe transplant them somewhere else, or if you have a friend that maybe wants some. But I want, Jesus, he's poor. We're just gonna leave those. I want to get a nice crisp definition between the lawn and the garden, because to me that's a very important thing. So because it's been a while, that's kind of where we are. And those are, I think those are daffodils. Those are daffodils. So what we can do now is just kind of push some of this mulch back in. Again, I don't know what to say, folks. This is gonna seem like a hack job, and I really can't figure out a way to do this without it being a hack job. So you see over here, the edge of the driveway is here, but the mulch went all the way over to here. So we're gaining about a foot of driveway back as well. As I work through this bed, I will recut the edge, get it nice and clean, dig out a little bit over here, and then rake some of this stuff down, and we'll just see if we can clean things up a bit. Hey folks, I just wanted to kind of give you a quick midpoint update here. So I did end up getting all the mulch off the driveway and raking it back, getting any weeds out of this half of the bed, and I think this looks pretty decent in my book. And the other thing I did is I tried to taper the edge down. You don't want to have like this cliff on the edge of your bed. You want to kind of taper it down so it's, you know, not a cliff. It looks more natural. So hopefully I'll be able to bring some mulch over and soften that up. And if not, I'll have to just dig out those black-eyed Susans and replant them. You know, dig them out, put the grade where I want it, and then go ahead and replant them at the right grade. Yesterday we were talking about how the thistle grows, and turns out that black-eyed Susan grows exact same way. It's got these rhizomes that spread, rhizomes, underground stems, and then it'll grow a new plant just like that. So as time goes by, you know, every year it'll just grow another 6 inches to a foot, and it can fill a garden very quickly if you don't keep up with it. The other thing I wanted to show you, and I thought this was kind of neat, is there's this dandelion here where I've been digging, and just to give you an idea of what you're dealing with when you're pulling dandelions, I mean, they go down quite a ways. So there's a couple dandelion roots for you. So with dandelions, get the roots, and they're probably going to come back, but just like with a thistle, the more the roots you get, the better your chances of getting rid of them. Okay folks, it's later in the day, so the picture may be a little bit pixelated, but this is what I ended up taking out today as far as edging goes. And the next time we're back here, I think this is a grouping of daffodils, so I'll show you how to replant those. So this is how far we got today, and I'm feeling pretty good about things. I got all the thistle above ground out. I got as much of the roots as I could. The thistle is going to come back, there's no doubt. You know, I pulled a lot of dandelions. There were some very large dandelions. They will come back as well. And you know, the only thing you can do is get out there and keep weeding them. It's the secret to life. So I did make it down to this juniper over here. There was a juniper between this stepping stone and over here, and I just ripped it out. It was kind of catching the dirt on the edge of the sidewalk and covering the sidewalk. So now it's completely gone. So we're down to here with the edging. You know, we could basically just plant grass in the middle of this bed. You know, just take this edge, you know, take this edge from here and just work over to this corner, you know, maybe with a little bit of swoop to it. Take this bed line and just come straight across or come in and then maybe swoop a little bit. And, you know, we could just do grass in there. Another option is to do some perennials, and for whatever reason, I was just thinking full sun, it's a really nice soil. You know, we could just do some peonies too. Just do either 3 or 5 peonies and just do like a little peony garden here. It's not full sun, but it's a pretty sunny spot for part of the day at least. So that's another way to go. I don't want to do a spreading perennial like the Black-Eyed Susan. I want to do something more clumping, easy to maintain. You know, peonies, you deadhead them when they're done flowering, cut them back in the fall. They look gorgeous. Let me know your thoughts, folks. You know, any questions, let me know. I think we're getting really close on this one. You know, I'm a little bit exhausted right now and a little bit drained, but I know every day we're here is a little bit closer to finishing the job. And I'm really looking forward. You know, the folks that live here were asking me if this stuff was going to grow back, and I said, oh yeah, it's probably going to grow back, but it's going to be a lot of fun to come back here in the spring and kind of show you folks the way the shrubs grow back, you know, after you give them a heavy pruning like this. That's going to do it for today, folks. We look forward to seeing you soon, and take care.